This is my granddad and he's 95 years old. Really?
Thank you. I am 95 years old.
How do you feel when you had to leave your family behind to go to war?
Well, I was very, very upset. Very upset. Because I wouldn't be going to see them for a long time.
Okay.
So I was upset.
Okay.
And all I wanted is for the war to finish so I could come back home and have a cup of tea and a biscuit at home. True.
Okay.
True.
How old were you when you went to war?
Into the war.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think it was 17 years and 10 months. 17 years and 10 months. That's nearly 18.
How did you feel when bombings were going around you?
Oh, it was very, very, very cold indeed. Very cold. You couldn't get warm. You used to have to wear 3 pairs of gloves, one on top of the other. And if you took your glove off to touch something like that, you bare all your fingers and your hands. If you took your gloves off to touch something, you'd look. So you tried not to take you out, but you had to because you couldn't do it otherwise. You couldn't do it with all these gloves on. Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any medals or awards after your war?
I've got some medals. They gave me some medals after.
Yeah. What protection did you have from the bombings?
Well, the ship that I was on in the Navy, the Germans who used to fly the aeroplanes over the top sometimes, and they used to try to drop a bomb onto my ship where I was. But they missed, they kept on, they went into the sea, the bombs went into the sea, but they didn't hit my ship. So I was lucky, and it didn't hurt.
What year were you born in?
Now, this is a joke. Was it AD or BC? Was it before Christ or AD?
After Christ.
I think it was after. 1924. 1924.
What was life like for you during World War II?
But the trouble was, the people we were fighting, they was German sailors and that. We was always scared on our ship that these Germans might fire some big shells onto us to try and sink our ship. And then they used to have machine guns. And everybody used to hide then out the way. And but when we got to Russia, the Russians, they used to feed us because we hadn't got hardly any food. But because we was taking all these things to Russia, there were lorries, cars, everything to the Russian army. So they were very pleased, so they gave us some big food, nice food, and drinks.
So what did you eat on the ship?
Not a lot, not a lot. We used to start from Scotland and on the way to Russia on the ship, and we used to have loaves of bread like we do here. But after 2 or 3 days, the loaves they'd gone stale. You couldn't eat them, they're too old. So we used to throw those away, and the seagulls used to have them. So we didn't get anything till we got to Russia, and Russia didn't make a lot of bread. So we used to go anywhere to try and get something to eat till we come back home again.
Did you have any fruits?
Fruit. Not in Russia, we didn't have any fruit, but we used to take some apples when we went to Russia from England. And then we used to have those apples. Then when we come back home, so that we knew that the next time we go to Russia, we better take some apples and some oranges to make us last.
Did you have any friends during World War II?
Any friends on the ship?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very big friend with, because it's our mess or the shop where we lived. It was about as big as this room, and there'd be about 12 sailors, and some was sitting on their chairs and some was lying over there, and you'd stop there while you was going to sea. But when the Germans tried to sink your ship, you'd get off. You'd have your lifebelt on, so in case you went in the sea, you wouldn't sink, because you got your belt to keep you going.
Did you lose any friends?
Oh yeah, quite a few. One time, and then when your friends got killed and died, they used to bury them at sea. But those days, they used to put them in a big blanket like you have on your bed. And lie the man who died, the sailor who died, lay down in this big blanket like this, with his arms over it like this. And then they used to sew it up so the blanket was all over you, all over your body. And then the idea was we're going to have a big service, and they put a big shell which used to fire in the guns, very heavy. They put them between your legs there. Nobody could see them because the blanket was all over them. Then the sailors, what was on the ship, carried them and rested them. If this was like the side of the ship, they'd rest them there. And then the officers used to say the prayers about the men going to sea, or going to be buried at sea. And instead of keeping the coffin level with the man on, this shell and all that, and if you can imagine, this is it, the man's in there and it's all covered up. They take it to the side of the ship like that, and it'd be like that. Then they'd have prayers and a little song, and then they would bury them. They used to tip so that the sailor and the big shell, which is in between the legs, dropped them into the sea. They went to the bottom of the sea because the shell was very big and heavy.
Was it easy?
Not really, no. The thing was, it wouldn't bother you when you were sort of my age, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. But when you got round to the 28, 30, your brain couldn't stand all this. And there was Pooley then. They couldn't understand it. The young people, young sailors, they could understand that I was buried them at sea and that.
Was there any diseases?
Any?
Diseases? Like...
Diseases? Well, not really. You used to get a lot of colds because it was so cold. Even the liquid in your eyes used to freeze because it was so cold, really cold. And as I said, used to wear 3 or 4 pair of gloves to keep your fingers warm, in case you wanted to fire something. So they'd do that. And because you didn't get clothes like I got here with woolly jumpers and all that, because they didn't give you all that sort of stuff. And that's how you try to keep your body warm.
What happened to your finger during the war?
These depth charges, we used to, it was a steel, it's like a big drum. And you used to put it on the side of the ship, and used to, if there was any German U-boats, you can't see them. They were in the water down there. And in an office on the ship, there was a man with some earphones on, and he could hear the German U-boats. He could hear their engine ticking, tick, 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 and they knew where he was. So what they used to do was bring round the ship you were on to the place where this pip, 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 and they knew it was a German U-boat under there. So then they got these steel depth charges, and they were full of metal. It's like what's it? And they'd go where they knew you couldn't see them. They was down maybe 10, 20 foot under the sea, so you couldn't see them with your eyes. And then they used to shoot and tip them over the side. And when they went down there, they used to explode, and the U-boats, it made all the holes in their metal. The boat sunk to the bottom of the sea.
Is that how you lost your finger?
Oh yeah, well you have to put a setting on, whether if that was the sea level, and it was 10 foot down, or 15 foot, or 20 foot, they got a machine there what told you where it was 26 foot down. So what you used to do, when you sent the depth charges over, on the end of the depth charge there was a thing you put a setting on. 50 foot, 60 foot, 70 foot, 80, 90, 100 foot. And they'd set it. And then they'd pull the thing, and the thing used to go over the side of the ship and went down there to 100 foot. When it got to 100 foot, there was that much water in it, it exploded like a bomb under the sea. And that was to sink the U-boat. And if the U-boat was near that, the side of the U-boat, well, it just fell to pieces. And when I come out, and then my friend said to me, "What's the matter with your finger?" I said, "Which finger?" She said, "Your finger." I said, "Which one?" Yeah. "No, the other hand." "Oh, that one?" "Yeah." He said, "Where's it gone?" I said, "That depth charge. When the Germans come to sink you, that's with the depth charge, he got trapped. And that finger was there, and that trapped it off like that. So that when I was naughty, I'd sit. When I grew up and got a bit older, I used to sit and tease the teachers and the people I work for. Instead of blowing my nose like this, I used to get that finger, and you look closely and put it there, and you think my finger was right up your nose, wouldn't you? No. Yes. It's like that one, the small one.
Of your brother, Charlie.
Oh yes, my brother, he died. He was in the Navy, not on my ship. He was on another ship, and he was older than me. I was 18, and my brother was nearly 20. He was 19, and the Germans. This was the soldiers in Germany attacked his ship, and his ship was called HMS Keith, like a boy's name, Keith. And my brother got killed, and the captain of that ship got killed. And the only one we knew about it, my mum and dad was alive, and they had a telegram come to the post to say, the Admiralty regret to announce that your son, Charlie Busby, and the captain of HMS Keith were killed on the ship, and they was buried at sea. They was buried in the sea. That was a long time before the story I was telling you when I was going to Russia. That was 1940. That's right, 1940. So that's how my brother died.